Holy shit. I think I broke the code. In today's video, I'm going to break down with full transparency on how I personally am positioning myself for the biggest transformation in wealth in history. So in today's video, I'm going to break down my exact portfolio, not financial advice. What I'm doing is being fully transparent and honest on exactly what I'm doing and giving you some insight on how I do my investing. Don't do it off hype. I don't do it off hopium. I do it off discipline, consistency. I'm willing to watch paint dry, and I understand the power of compounding. But I also understand that there's moments and times where we can get involved in the greatest transformation and help free our family. So what I'm going to show you is a new investment that is coming out on Tuesday. And I want to be very, very clear with you guys. I've never been paid by a crypto company. I don't do promotions. I own my own companies. I don't even monetize my YouTube channel or any of my social medias. I have my own companies that are monetized, being transparent with that. I own 6 different companies. I do that on purpose. I control my own ecosystems, and that way I can be open and honest with you guys, and I can share with you exactly what I'm doing. So hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to dive in today, and I'm going to show you another investment that's coming out December 9th, 2025, and I am going to get access to it. Okay, so I'm building this narrative around the new payment system, the new digital gold, the mining, the picks and shovels, and now the new 21st century infrastructural change. You have to understand at a very, very deep level that they told you to look this way and they rewired the whole system this way. So I'm about to introduce you to is what I believe is going to be a massive, massive part of my portfolio. Okay, now this is going to be on the stock side. Okay, and on the back end, I'm going to share with you my top cryptos that I'm going to be taking into 2030. I'm going to share with you how I create some cash flow. I use protection, and then I use leverage very, very responsibly on the insurance side to do what? To buy more assets and de-risk, de-risk, de-risk. What I'm working to do is help empower you so you can make informed decisions. Okay. So this came out, was it yesterday, December 3rd? Yes. Today is Friday, right? So this came out on December 3rd, and all these logical circuits started kicking off. Okay. So now let me pause for just a moment and let's talk about the cabinet that Trump has created. Okay. That's the most important part of this message right here. So you got Donald Trump, the president of the United States. Now remember, he told you, listen to me, you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before you know it. This was in 2017. And he had just made a statement that he was worried about the debasement of the US dollar. Okay. That's a key factor right there. And then remember, 2023, they all flipped. Bitcoin's a fraud. It's a flight to quality. Larry Fink said, the largest asset manager in the world, he said, if you're worried about the debasement of your country's currency, Bitcoin might be a good move. And now the largest asset manager in the world is a number 2 holder in Bitcoin. You got Strategy B, the number one Bitcoin treasury. And the one we're going to talk about today is also a Bitcoin treasury. Okay. So we got Donald Trump, the president of the United States. You got Howard Lutnick, who is the Commerce Secretary. Howard Lutnick was the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald. I want you to go do your research. I'm giving you empowerment so you can go research and you can go make your own informed decisions. Cantor Fitzgerald is a crypto company that gives loan to crypto companies. They're also the custodian for Tether. So write that down. Brandon Lutnick, Howard Lutnick stepped out. The father's writing the rules, and the son moved into the CEO position. Brandon Lutnick, he runs Cantor now. Okay. 21 Capital, and I'm going to show you all this stuff, linked up with Cantor. That is Jack Mallers. Okay, so we got Howard Lutnick. Brandon Lutnick took position number 1 in Cantor. We got Jack Mallers linking up through 21 Capital, partnering up, and we'll break all this down. Don't worry. This is how I make my investment decisions. Okay, then we got Bo Hines, who was in the cabinet for Donald Trump, who was the executive director for digital assets. He all of a sudden stepped down, and then boom, heads off, grabs Tether, and brings it into America, USAT. Tether's the largest stable coin in the world, 90% of the stablecoin market. Now we have USAT in America, and Cantor is the custodian for Tether. Are you starting to see the connections? And it gets deeper. We're going to keep going here. Then we got Steve Witkoff, who is traveling around the world with Jared Kushner making the business deals. They have the phone line to every single business leader in the world and leaders of countries creating business deals. As Trump is creating tariffs, creating business deals, they're about to bring so much money into this economy. Steve Witkoff, his sons started World Liberty Financial, WLFI. Okay. WLFI brought on Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Barron Trump. Okay. Now, if you go look at WFI's website, World Liberty Financial, it says Donald Trump and Steve Witkoff, Emirates One. It's like the way I said that, Emirates One. So they moved. So what that means is, if you look it up, you can easily Google that. It means that they are founders, but they no longer control the business. So they stepped out. Remember, the Trump boys run the Trump organization. The Witkoff boys now run the organization. So you got Donald Trump, Steve Witkoff, Howard Lutnick. The fathers all stepped into writing the rules, and the sons are running the ecosystem, hence removing conflict of interest. Now you have an SEC chair or SEC chair, Paul Atkins, who was completely pro crypto, which I'll dive deeper into that on Monday. Okay. You got Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, went from Tweety Bird, right, to, if you guys remember that gonzo called Janet Yellen Tweety Bird, who didn't even know what our debt was, to Scott Bessent, who is pro crypto, big time, and innovation. Okay. So those are the players in the game. So we got BlackRock connected through Circle, through Coinbase, Ripple's connected through Build Fund. We got Jack Mallers, 21 Capitals connected to Cantor, and I'm going to keep breaking this down. So that goes into my narrative of XRP, okay, the bridge currency. That's one of my biggest holdings by a long shot. Let me just start with that, and then I'll back into this investment, okay? So XRP is my number one holding. So that's the payment rails. Bitcoin is my digital gold. So think of Robert Kiyosaki. He owns the mines and he owns the gold. So I'm doing it in the digital world. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just sharing with you exactly what I do. So you can come back in 2030 and see how I did. Just like people came back in looked at my 2020 and I grew my XRP 800% and my Bitcoin 200%. You got crushed by inflation and I grew my portfolio almost 340% overall. Okay. So XRP is my number one holding. Bitcoin's number two. Okay. Next is WLFI. It's climbing into the number three spot. This is going to be my narrative all the way into 2030. WLFI, World Liberty, not WL as in Larry, FI, World Liberty Financial. Okay. So payment token, Bitcoin, the new gold, WFI, World Liberty Financial, the new decentralized platform. We're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before you know it. It's DeFi, decentralized finance. It is you participating with the bank. The people are the bank. You own the token. You have governance in the bank, and they're about to launch the RWA, the real world assets, in first quarter, and they have USD1, the fastest growing stablecoin. Hence, Trump is writing the rules. The Stablecoin Act, we're about to get the Clarity Act. Okay. So we got XRP, we got Bitcoin, the gold, we got WFI, the World Liberty Financial. And then I started getting into about 5 weeks ago, American Bitcoin, ABTC. That's on the stock side. So the first three I told you are also XRP, Bitcoin, WLFI are on the digital asset side, crypto. This is on the stock side, ABTC, American Bitcoin. Eric Trump, whose dad is writing the rule, linked up with Hut 8, created a Bitcoin mining company and a treasury company at the same time. So now I'm getting involved in the picks and shovels. Okay. They went from 0 Bitcoin to 4,300 Bitcoin in less than 6 months. Okay. So I'm not only getting access to the picks and shovels. I own the Bitcoin, which is the gold. I own the payment rails, which is the XRP. I have the WFI, the new decentralized platform. That would be my most speculative investment because the platform is not fully up and running yet. They don't have the DeFi bank running yet, but I believe that the person writing the rules is probably going to do pretty well with their bank. And then the next one comes into this narrative, which is XXI. Now be careful, because when you pull up XXI, you'll see XXII, which is listed right now. This is not listed, okay? But on December 9th, remember, I have zero connection to this. I want to make that very, very clear, okay? I'm just sharing with you guys transparently exactly what I'm doing. says today, Cantor Equity Partners shareholders approve merger with Jack Mallers 21 Capital. It is expected to begin on the New York Stock Exchange, trading under the ticker XXI. Remember, there's an XXII, so be careful. On December 9th, as the first Bitcoin native public company. Guys, it's here to stay. This is your future, okay? Digest this. Okay, so that's going to go live on December 9th. I'm going to get some exposure to that. So what it'll look like is XRP, Bitcoin, WFI, American Bitcoin on the stock side, and XXI. Okay. So this is, I'm going to take you back in history a little bit. We're going to start to connect this and build out this is called an investment thesis. Okay. Circle of competency. I understand what's happening here. Okay. You need to understand your circle of competency. Don't ever invest in something you don't understand. Tether, SoftBank. So this was back on April 23rd. So I'm going to take you back and then we're going to reverse engineer to what I think is happening. Tether, SoftBank Group, Jack Mallers launched 21, a Bitcoin native company, okay, through a business combination with Cantor Equity Partners. Cantor is Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick is a commerce secretary. His son, Brandon Lutnick, owns it. 21 Capital is the company, a newly formed entity, today announced it has entered a definitive agreement for a business combination with Cantor Equity Partners, okay? A special purpose acquisition, a SPAC, sponsored by affiliate of Cantor Fitzgerald, a leading global financial services and real estate servicing holding company. Okay. We have Cantor teams up with Tether, SoftBank for a $3.6 billion crypto venture. Okay. This was April 23rd. You see it all connecting now? Cantor Fitzgerald is launching crypto venture with Tether, a Japanese technology investment in SoftBank Group, to buy Bitcoin, wagering that interest in the digital currency will expand under U.S. President Donald Trump. Huh. And then all of a sudden, Bo Hines leaves and goes to Tether and brings it into America. Is that by chance? Is that just coincidence? No, they're rewiring the financial system. Tether reveals that USAT stablecoin appoints Bo Hines, former White House advisor, to lead the U.S. business on September 12th. April, May, June, July, August, September, Bo Hines goes and brings Tether into America. Okay. Then on December 9th, or closing December 8, 2025, 21 Capital and Cantor Equity Partners announcing expected closing of business combination and the New York Stock Exchange listing. Expected closing December 8th. Combined company expected to begin trading on New York Stock Exchange under ticker XXI on December 9th. 21 Capital, the first ever Bitcoin native company that expects to be publicly listed, and Cantor Equity Partners, okay, today announced that an extraordinary general meeting of the CEPS shareholders, the meeting held today, the CEPS shareholders approved the previously announced proposed business combination between the parties, the business combination, as well as the other proposal related to the business combination. Okay. So using logic, okay, putting our logical circuit on, Howard Lutnick, son Brandon Lutnick, runs Cantor. Bo Hines now is the CEO of Tether. Jack Mallers, 21 shares, right? I actually keep saying 21 Capital. I'm sorry. There's 21 shares too. 21 Capital is linked up with Cantor. Cantor and 21 Capitals is going on the New York Stock Exchange. So if I was a betting man, I think that I'm doing a good job there. So I'm going to have XXI. I'm going to put that in portfolio. I'm going to just put my foot in. I'm going to dip my toe in because there's people probably got in pre-IPO with this. I didn't get access to any pre-IPO. Okay, so what usually happens, it hits the stock ticker, it starts out, it goes up in value, and it dumps. So I'll put a little bit in, and then when it dumps again, because there'll always be a sell-off, right? I'll start to access. This would be a long-term hold for me. American Bitcoin will be a long-term hold for me. Bitcoin is a long-term hold for me. Okay. XRP, some of it's going to be a long-term hold for me. I am going to exit 50% of my altcoins. I always do because I feed my Capel DR system. Okay. I'm obsessed with cash flow. Cash is absolute trash, guys. They're about to lower interest rates. Okay. And they're going to print a shit load of money. Your job is to beat inflation. That's what I want you to prepare for, is you have to beat inflation. Yes, they're cooled inflation. And yes, they're going to turn the printing machine on. And yes, he's going to bring in a Fed chair that's going to lower interest rates dramatically, probably to low to 3. I think it's going to be down to 3%, whatever the Fed rate is, and the bank rate about 3%. Money is going to be very cheap. When money is very cheap, the stock market gets extremely overvalued. People get greedy as F, and 1929 will probably happen all over again. That's why gold, that's why silver, that's why Bitcoin, that's why fixed supply assets like XRP, that's why I'm positioning myself. And I'm positioning myself in stocks, cryptos, and things that I believe, I like silver, things that I believe are going to survive a stock market collapse. I don't think it would be a good idea to, if not take profits, if this stock market just skyrockets. If you're in AI tech companies, there has to be a boom and bust, guys. That's the next boom and bust, AI, in my opinion. Okay, because it's math. You can't print money in a low interest rate environment, and you can't have tons of greed in the system. Somebody's going to dump on your ass. But the economy is going to be bullish in 2026, 2027, and you're probably going to start to see a transition in 2028 when the Bitcoin halving happens, and you're probably going to see an overvalued, overheated stock market. It's already overheated and overvalued. And the next president's probably going to run on a stock market collapse. The 1% got way wealthier. The middle class got moved down to the working poor. I thought the people were going to get helped, right? Because the problem is that people, what we need is, we don't need stimulus checks. We need financial literacy. We need financial education. That's what we need. Because if we give money to the same people, Jim Rohn, if you give $1 million to every person in society, it's going to end up in the same 1% hands. We need financial literacy. People need to understand that there's only debt in the system. That's it. You're getting paid in someone else's debt. So when I figured that out in 2020, I was like, oh my God, I just got to get on the side of earning interest, not paying interest. So I went lean and mean on the personal side for debt. The only debts, I have a little tiny bit of debt, and that'll all be paid off in 2026. That's my number one goal, to be completely debt free on the personal side. Any debt is on the business side that is generating income. That's the only time I'll run debt. Okay. If I do leverage on my assets, which would be through my insurance side, I did a little bit on my Bitcoin to buy my firm. It's generating cash flow, or it's an appreciating asset. It's going to pay it off. Okay. So capital DR, cash flow. I create cash flow through my businesses and cash generating dividends. Dividends are completely passive. I take the income from my cash flow from my businesses and dividends, and I put them into assets. I just gave you my top. XRP, it's going to be Bitcoin. WFI is climbing in the number 3 spot. It's going to be American Bitcoin and XXI. That's what that's my narrative. And what I want you to do is watch Warren Buffett. Stop watching hype. Stop watching hope. Watch Warren Buffett, Cathie Woods, Ray Dalio, Robert Kiyosaki, Charlie Munger. Read the book Richest Man in Babylon. Study the wisdom of King Solomon inside of the Bible. Study Cash Flow Quadrant, and put your blinders on and stop following hopium. You're going to get wrecked. Okay. Build an ecosystem. When you're in profits, get some shit off the table, man. If you walked in the casino and you threw down $1,000 and you win $2,000, get your $1,000 off the table and put it in your damn pocket and have fun with the house money. And when you're winning off the house money, get some chips off the table. Because guess what? The casino wins 100% of the time. And that's what the stock market is. It's a casino. There's only a winner. There's only a loser. I'm sorry, your favorite influencers convince you this is the super cycle. It's just nothing goes in a straight line. That's not how life works. Your relationship doesn't work that way. Your businesses, I own 6 companies. It doesn't work that way. It took me, I've been at this for 8 years running companies. It's been a bumpy ass ride. There's always issues. There's always bear markets. There's always bull markets. Okay. And the markets don't work that way. God created a system that cycles. Okay. The sun goes up, the sun goes down, the moon, the tide goes in, the tide goes out, winter comes, spring comes, summer comes, it cycles, fall. It's just a cycle. That's how it works. So to take the middle ground is to be disciplined, to be consistent, to build a storehouse when there's greed, and to allow that storehouse to buy the fear. That's how winning is done. So I'm just going to continue to peel back the curtain with you guys. I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing. So I am getting into XXI on December 9th, 2025. Again, not financial advice. Just want to be transparent and open. And I want to put this all out there. I mean, I guess I'm putting my neck on the line. I'm like, hey, here's what I'm doing. And then you guys can come back and measure how I did. Now, am I going to win every single time? No. But at least we're going after it. It worked really well for me from 2020 to 2025. And I think it's going to go very, very well from 2025 to 2030. But I just want to be transparent. I think that's what we need more of in this world is transparency and authenticity. So there you go. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to bring things to you guys when I'm getting involved in it. I want to be very clear to you guys. I do not invest people's money. We don't have a trading platform. Those are all scammers out there. You don't need a Web3 account. People are using my face and, there's tons of scammers out there. I'm not DMing you on WhatsApp. I'm not DMing you on Telegram. We do not invest people's money. Okay. We are educators. We have a free section on our YouTube channel. We do have the 3T Warrior Academy. We've helped 14,000 people worldwide learn how to fish. We don't give you a fish. We teach you how to fish. Okay. And then we fish next to you and build a legacy. It's one of the greatest communities in the world, one of the largest communities in the world, over 14,000 people worldwide since 2020 and 4,000 active people. So if you want to join, description down below, join the academy, click the link in my bio, or just watch my videos. I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing. And you can go figure out the framework. I love you guys very, very much. Have an awesome weekend. I will be traveling but I'll keep my videos live. I love you guys. Warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you.